Here at Tulalip, we define invasive plants as, or invasive species in general, as plants or animals that do not naturally occur in an ecosystem and whose introduction can cause environmental harm, economic harm, or harm to human health. A lot of the invasive plants you'll see on the reservation and throughout the state of Washington, the Pacific Northwest as a whole, that we're concerned with are Scotch broom. Those are really easy to identify. They have those bright yellow flowers. You'll see them along highways and roadways and people in open areas. Knotweed is a really big problem here, specifically regarding salmon. Himalayan blackberry is kind of ubiquitous around here, so we love the berries, but it can also kind of outshade and outcompete those native plants and really create a monoculture. Poison hemlock is another big concern for us. As the name entails, it's toxic to humans and animals, and so it's another plant we want to hit and hit it hard. The invasive title is usually applied to plants that are really good at what they do. They grow and outcompete native plants, and unfortunately manual, mechanical, and some of those natural vinegar treatments just don't work, and so you have to use these kind of more heavy-duty chemicals like the Invasive or the glyphosate products. Some of the areas on the reservation we're kind of focusing our invasive plant efforts are areas the community uses and are regularly out and about at. And so that includes the Early Learning Academy, the little walking trail back there. And so poison hemlock is rapidly growing in that area. And as I mentioned, that's a poisonous plant that can cause harm to humans and animals. And so we want to hit that before it's accidentally ingested. It also causes skin irritation if handled without gloves. Other areas include the gathering call. There's a large infestation of knotweed in that area, and we want to try to combat that as soon as possible to prevent the spread.
Over here we have a Doug fir right next to some poison hemlock, and it's kind of tall, so if I were to spray there'd be the risk of getting it on that tree. Even though this is broadleaf specific, it's less likely to hurt pine trees, but there still could be a little bit of a chance. So what I would do is just kind of come through here and bend all these down and out of the way, and then sometimes what I like to do is kind of put myself between the tree and what I'm spraying so that I know no drift or anything else is going to touch it.
Anytime that we treat invasive plants, we'll post signage with the date and the chemical that was applied, letting people know to stay out of the area. And that's the most likely method of being introduced to humans or animals is during that wet period when the application has just been applied and that spray is still wet on the plant. People can help by identifying the plants on your properties that you have and reaching out to Tulalip Natural Resources to understand the best kind of treatment options, whether that's manual, mechanical if that's possible, or chemical if that's the only feasible and effective way.